Well, hello and welcome to all of our viewers here today. I'm Fiona Lang-Sharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. Well, very excited here. We're back again talking about our Gold Lactation Online Conference 2021. It is right around the corner, folks, so get ready. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. We've got some incredible presenters this year, over 29. So the program is really full, and we want you to be able to participate in all of the events that are coming up as well. Don't forget to check out everything at goldlactation.com. Registration, of course, is open. The date it starts for the live event, which is always really important, is March 29th. So we'll look forward to seeing you, all of you, online. Someone that is also going to be joining us live, we've got Diane DiTomasso, who is here with us today. So thank you, Diane, for joining us here. It's so good to have you.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I get really excited about, of course, the live event. We have fabulous recordings. I have to say, I've been recording this past week, all of our folks that are coming. But you and I have been working together a little bit here, getting ready for, of course, the live event. And it's such an opportunity, once again, to be able to connect, because we're missing a lot of that, that connection right now. So I'm glad that you're going to be here. You're an ideal person, I think, to come on board and just, connect with the audience. And, this is going to be interesting. Your topic, which I will give everyone the title to, so everyone knows what we're going to be talking about: expected weight changes after birth for full-term breastfed newborns. Okay, so you all heard that, expected weight changes. And of course, this is always going to be a hot topic of information. And I know you've put a lot of research into this, which is very exciting. And we'll talk about it in just a minute, but I don't want to be so rude not to have you introduce yourself and tell us where you are in the world. So please just share a little bit about what's happening in your neck of the woods there, Diane.
Okay, well, I'm coming to you from Rhode Island, United States, and again, it's a pleasure to be here. I have been a nurse since 1989, and I always think of, I'm a nurse researcher as well, but I always think of myself as a nurse first. I worked in labor and delivery, postpartum, newborn nursery, a little bit of women's health. Gosh, for about 25 years, and of course, as a lactation consultant for about 25 years before I came into the world of academia.
Right.
And now I work as an associate professor at the University of Rhode Island, and I teach. I love teaching. I teach undergrads, maternal child health, and sometimes nursing research as well. Those are my two favorite courses, the ones I teach the most. And I am looking forward. Actually, I've recently been hired as a lactation consultant at a large tertiary care center here in Providence, Rhode Island. So I'm looking forward to doing that as well as continued teaching. So just a little part-time, but enough to keep my hand in practice, which is important. Important. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that too. I love the aspect of, keeping my hand in a little bit and seeing some clients, but of course, love the academic part of sharing all of this amazing, work that we do internationally and the research that you do as well. So how did you make that transition into teaching sort of as your main kind of gig? Was it a natural fit, or what happened to get you there?
It was a slow burn for me. I way back in, gosh, when did I get my master's degree? Back in 1999. I had been a nurse for about 10 years at that point. And I remember a friend saying to me, okay, you've got your master's. Are you ready to go teach now? In Rhode Island, you need a master's. In most of the US, you need a master's degree to teach at university undergrad level. And I said, oh no, I'm not ready. I haven't been a nurse long enough. And I had been a nurse for 10 years at that point. Looking back, I'm sure I could have done it. But it was slow for me. I took a per diem job at a university setting. So I continued my nursing job and then taught a course per diem, loved it. So I was a clinical instructor, loved it. This next semester I taught 2. Loved it. And then a full-time instructor job, a clinical instructor job, became available at University of Rhode Island. So I took that position. I was able to get that position. And then I went per diem at the hospital. So then my main gig was teaching at the university. And then of course, when you're you start at a university in that setting. I had the opportunity to go back to school and get my PhD.
Yes,
And
indeed.
so I was encouraged to do that by the folks that, had hired me.
Yeah.
And I was happy to do that. And to be honest, I went into it a little bit blind. I really didn't know or appreciate
Mm-hmm.
what I would be learning, how much
Mm,
I would grow professionally in that
mm,
I always look back at it and I say, that is the best thing that ever happened to me in my life, in my professional life, is
right.
sort of ending up in this PhD program. And I really loved research, and I loved postpartum and lactation. So of course that became my area of interest. And I started right at that point, focusing on breastfeeding and doing lactation research.
Right.
And I have never looked back. I've just done, one study after another. They've sort of grown. I feel like it's been a sort of a solid trajectory, all focused on lactation
Mm-hmm.
and specifically infant weight.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, and so let's jump into this topic now because it to me it just seems so juicy
It
because
is juicy. It's really juicy.
yeah, because there's a lot of controversy around it. I think a
Yes.
lot of misinformation.
Yeah.
Nobody seems to speak the same language. Can we get anybody on the same page, Diane? Come on,
We
let's
cannot. Yeah. Yeah.
let's do it. It's got to be coming soon. The tide is turning. Parents are getting better informed, I have to say. So we've got a consumer participation here as well. And I will say that we are getting better, at getting it out into the community, into our clinics and our physicians' offices as well. So again, the title of your presentation, Expected Weight Changes After Birth for Full-Term Breastfed Newborns. Give us a little bit of an inside scoop here. What are we going to be talking about?
Yeah. So as you totally queued me up, right? We don't have good understanding of what's normal. The studies are very conflicting. People go by different information. It's confusing. Parents are being impacted. What we know, though, what I've been able to demonstrate in recent studies and what other researchers have also demonstrated, is that when kids hit 7% weight loss or more,
Mm-hmm.
they're getting formula supplementation. And so the goal of this paper that this topic is about was
Mm-hmm.
to try to figure out what's normal based on contemporary research findings. So I had actually done another review on the exact same topic that came out in 2016. And that looked back about 5 years. And that was good. And actually the findings in that review, in that systematic review, matched the same findings that Noel Weiss had done a dozen years ago. But what the both of us came to the same conclusions in those review is that all of the research, there was a lot of flaws in the data that came up with the 7% weight loss as normal.
Right.
So lots of flaws in the research. And so I wanted to do a new review, an updated
Mm-hmm.
review, to determine if those same flaws were still happening. And they are. and they are, but there are less flaws in the contemporary research.
Excellent.
And so I think the findings are much stronger, more accurate. And so therefore, I think the findings of this systematic review sort of hold more water, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely good. I mean, I'm celebrating here internally, but I'm also I'm hurting a little bit because when I hear those numbers again, Diane, the 7 to 10%, and we're seeing such a high risk of our introducing formula at that time, and that's we've known this for years. Like this is not new,
Right.
but how we really need to get some good research in place in order to protect those that don't need it. right? There's still some that do, but those that don't need it, we need to get some solid information here. So I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
absolutely excited. And I hope that I'm going to say it out loud now on tape. I hope you continue in this area.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you really have become a wonderful voice behind this. And I know you're very passionate about it as well. But we are so fortunate that we are going to have you at Gold Lactation this year. So thank you so much. And it's great to hear kind of what's happening, what's changing in the field. And I know that your presentation is just really going to show us exactly what those findings were as well. So thank you for sharing that with us here at Gold today.
It's my pleasure. I look forward to the conference.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so excited, of course. It's because it's coming up so quickly and there's lots happening. Our keynote opening March 29th. I hope you'll all join us. It's going to be with Nikisha Killings, and I know that you're going to enjoy that. Remember that our conference is always recorded as well. So convenience for you, for those of you who may not be able to come and see Diane, she will be available to you no matter what, wherever you are in the world. And of course, we've got those dedicated forums for you as well. Well, thank you so much to Diane for joining us here today. And of course, to all of you, our listening audience. Bye-bye for now, everyone.